home run by Miguel Cabrera, and the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner and MVP Justin Verlander joins us from down in the dugout. And not that baseball players are superstitious, but there's only one reason why you're even wearing a headset at the moment, and that's because you tend to get runs when you do interviews from the dugout with us network folk.
Yeah, so let's not screw that up today, huh?
How much are you dying to get another crack at the Giants tomorrow night?
Yeah, I definitely want to get back out there, turn things around. Hopefully we can win tonight, get back out there, just play one game at a time. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but it's the truth. One at a time and see what happens.
Justin, you saw what the wind did with that ball Cabrera hit. It's supposed to be 50-mile-an-hour gusts tomorrow night when you're starting, if the Tigers win tonight.
Yeah, well, I think we're kind of built to hit the long ball, so I don't mind if it's blowing out either way.
Right.
Hey, tell us what the life was like in that dugout when that thing nestled into the seats out in right field. I mean, in what, 3 seconds? I'm sure your mood changed entirely.
Yeah, that was a big hit, a big home run. Obviously, get us up one and get us back in this thing. That was, the mood in here was great. We've stayed positive the whole time, really, but it's nice to kind of get off the schneid and get ahead.
Dirks went around. I sense from your manager, Jim Leland, a guy that he's not panicking, clearly, and a guy whose mood really hasn't changed since before game one even, and I know you guys take a lot from him.
Yeah, he's been remarkably consistent, and that's all you can ask for in a manager. He doesn't put too much pressure on us as a team. It just lets us go out there and play. And I heard him talking about it today with trying to mix up the lineup and stuff, and said, hey, our lineup's our lineup. Go out there and, do what we do. And that just shows the confidence that he has in his team and our ability. And he's not pressing the panic button, so we aren't either.
What didn't work for you in game one out in San Francisco?
I just have to say location. I felt like my fastball was kind of all over the place and made some bad pitches in some crucial spots, and they took advantage of it.
We've seen their lineup, and I guess you see this a lot in postseason, but it's like a different guy seemingly every night except for one guy, and that's Sandoval. And I wonder, when you watch his at-bats on a night before you may pitch against him, what you're looking for.
Just kind of watching his at-bats, seeing what he's struggling with or what he's hitting well, and I'll look at some previous at-bats too, some of my at-bats that or his at-bats against myself, and come up with maybe a little bit different game plan.
I'm sitting next to a catcher, former catcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Dirks.
A while ago.
With 1 out, nobody on. And that's a ground ball to the right of Scudero. He gets it, throws it, 2 out. You're not doing so well down there, Justin.
Hey, last time I was on, we got 2 quick outs too and managed to score some runs.
Okay, so well, there you go.
Have faith.
Hope. Johnny Peralta will be the hitter, but I was just going to reference, and we talked about it before the game, the visit you got on the mound from Jeff Jones, your pitching coach in game one. The look was like, what are you doing out here? Like Tim McCarvey used to get from Bob Gibson when he would come out and try and talk to you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I said that your expression was Gibson-esque when you
well, as a competitor out there, obviously you never want to see the pitching coach come out there. Usually things aren't going too well when that's the case, but you're just trying to find your rhythm and work through some things, and obviously things weren't quite going my way, so I'm working out there to try to find it. And usually when I'm going bad, I start getting a little quick, and I know what they were doing. They were coming out there trying to slow me down a little bit, and it was just kind of the heat of the moment type thing. And Jeff and I and Skipper, we all have a great relationship. It was just when the competitive juices are flowing out there on the field, and you got cameras everywhere to see it. That's a little bit different nowadays than it used to be.
Justin, from the pitchers I've run into, the one thing they don't want to talk about on the mound is mechanics.
Yeah, and they don't talk about mechanics with me. They usually talk about slowing down a little bit. It's not really any mechanical adjustments. Sometimes in between innings, if I want to talk to Jeff Jones, our pitching coach, a little bit about it, I'll come in and speak to him with kind of what I'm feeling out there and what I think I'm doing wrong or what I need to fix. But that's usually in between innings, and that gives me my warm-up pitches to go out there and work on it the next inning.
That's down and away, 3-1. Real quick, have you changed? Well, they said he went around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The crowd didn't like that. Have you changed your approach? Because we've seen you kind of develop that great fastball within a start, where at the end it's unbelievable. You're throwing 98, 99, but it seems like you're coming out of the gate now throwing harder in the early innings. Is that accurate?
Well, this is a game of adjustments, and I feel like some teams started to make adjustments towards me, and knowing that I'd be throwing a little bit easier earlier in the game, and They started being really aggressive. So it wasn't just a postseason adjustment. It was a late season adjustment. I started doing it late in September. And, you know, like I said, it was just an adjustment that I made, had some success with it, so I've stuck with it.
Counts 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-1 Tigers here in game 4. And Matt Cain brings it home to Peralta. That's a foul. So we started our season here, Justin, on our first Saturday. You guys were playing Boston. You were nice enough to do it then. It's a big deal to us when the big stars come on, and you're nice to do this then. You're nice to do this now. Thanks. And if you get a chance tomorrow, good luck.
All right, guys. Appreciate it.
I know you're going to keep the headset on.
Yeah, of course it's staying on. And if this doesn't happen, I blame it on you guys completely.
All right, well, of course. Yeah, everybody blames everything on us. So get in line. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Our fault. Inning over.
Yep, your guys' fault.
2 strikeouts in the inning, and that sends us into the 5th. 2-1, Detroit on top. Back to work. Scherzer back after this from your local Fox station.